We just returned from another Disneyland vacation and we're ready to share with you the things we did and some of the things we've learned. This is episode 97. I'm Soraya.
I'm Aurora.
And together we're just your average Disney travelers. Okay, so I guess this is a recap, but we'll really we're not going to give you an outline of everything we did every day because that really is probably not very interesting to most people. But let's start with who went on with us on this trip.
Okay, so us and Dad, and then my sister, her husband, and her child.
Yep, so your niece.
Yep.
My granddaughter.
Yep.
Yes. So basically our family, our whole family, all of us, which was kind of nice. The first Disney trip we've done as a whole family, so that was really fun. And so where do we stay?
Tropicana Inn.
And where is that located?
Like literally like right across the street from like the Disneyland entrance.
Yeah, on South Harbor.
Yeah, you just like kind of from the entrance, you kind of just look forward, move a tiny bit to the left, and then you're looking right at it.
The hotel?
Yeah, the hotel.
Yeah, it's one of the closest hotels. It's not the closest. There's you actually the I would say the Best Western Park Place hotel is probably the closest one that's not Disney property, but it's right next to it.
Yeah.
So it's very close. And what were our thoughts about the hotel?
It was nice. I mean,
yeah,
we've had worse. We've had better.
Yeah, it's your, like we've said so many times before. These hotels across the street. They're really motels. They have exterior doors, meaning the room that you're in, the door opens up to an outdoor walkway or something. It's not an interior hallway or anything. It's literally a motel, so more scaled back as far as amenities and like types of things.
Yeah.
However, it had been fairly recently updated. The paint and everything seemed fresh. The bathrooms were a little bit more modern, like had tiles and stuff. It was nice looking for a motel.
Yeah.
Very much for a motel, but it was still a motel. And this one did not include any breakfast, which many of the hotels and motels right there in the area don't. And it certainly did not. But it did have a mini fridge, and it had a small microwave, in addition to your typical standard coffee maker and stuff like that. So that worked for us. We did actually bring
a toaster
for you.
Yeah, I like my bagels.
Yeah, so you wanted bagels in the morning, and so we brought a toaster. But anyhow, yep, so that's where we stayed. Oh, we should tell them. So the first few days, we were so like I don't know, not I wouldn't say impressed, but there was a hidden Mickey for a few days in the hotel elevator, motel elevator, and we were like, oh, that's so cool. And you even said, I wonder if the hotel did that or if it's just,
well, it's like, okay, so like the floor was like kind of like circles.
Yeah.
Like most elevators. And so like 3 of them were kind of just brown instead of gray.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but like they were fully colored.
Yeah.
So it's like, it looked like it was intentional.
Yeah. Which it was intentional. It's just a matter of who did it. And, but then halfway through our trip, it disappeared. The maintenance or janitors or whoever does the house cleaning, whatever, they cleaned it. So the hotel didn't keep it. So it won't be there. We were going to tell people, oh, look for the hidden Mickey. We won't tell you where it is. Well, it won't matter. It's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that reminds me, this motel did have some sections of the rooms were 3-story and some were 2-story. There were only I believe there were 2 elevators, but they were both near each other.
Yeah.
And only in one section of the whole hotel. And so we were originally assigned rooms that were on the opposite side in the second floor. where you would have to go over to the elevator, take it up, and then walk almost the entire perimeter before getting to our room. And if we didn't have a stroller, that would be fine because we would have just taken the stairs that were close to the room. But having the stroller, because of Saoirse, we were going to need the elevator. And so we asked to be relocated to either a ground floor or a room that had a better access to the elevator, which we still weren't super close to it, but we were closer to it. And actually, I was really happy where we were. We ended up in the back, and it was really quiet because it wasn't near the pool, and the parking that was allowed in the back was only valet parking. So you didn't have a lot of families coming and going as much. It was really only the valet people taking cars in and out. And so it was really quiet in the back. So if you're looking for a quieter room, be willing to walk a little bit to the back of the property. If you need to be by an elevator, make sure you make note of that. And I will say, though, we were on the south side of the hotel, and one perk of that, besides being closer to the elevator, was that from our door, you could actually see some of the fireworks that were going off. The higher fireworks came over the building, and so that was kind of cool. That was a nice perk. We weren't really expecting that. Anyways, okay. How many days were we there?
5.
In the parks, yeah, we were.
Oh, 5 in the parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And what kind of tickets did we do?
Hoppers.
Yeah, we did the park hoppers. It just makes sense at Disneyland.
Yeah.
And we also used Genie Plus, which also, again, hoppers make sense with that at Disneyland. Because when you're using Genie Plus, you can then use the attractions at both parks. Mm-hmm. So that was good. Okay. Did we use Genie Plus? Yes, we did. And did we purchase any lightning lanes?
We purchased 1.
1 and 1 only.
Which ended up costing like $80.
Yep, for 4 people to ride. Which ride was it?
Rise of Resistance.
Yep, on the first day.
Yep.
I said, this is it. This is the one time I'm paying for it. After that, if you want to ride it, you pay for it yourself or get in line. Which you guys did get in line.
I didn't.
Yeah, oh, that's true. Katie and Patrick did.
Yeah.
But, okay. So, what were some of our thoughts about Genie Plus?
I think it went pretty well. We had that one day where we got, we were on Toy Story Mania, went down. They gave us the multiple experience fast passes, which is just like fast passes, not lightning lanes.
Lane, yeah.
Which just kind of, they can't be used for every ride that has lightning lanes. You can kind of just go to it and you can see what it will work for. But ours,
they kind
of we had 5 of them, and then 3 of them disappeared.
Yeah, and we could have gone to guest relations and they would have restored them, I'm pretty sure. But we, at that point, when we realized it, it was kind of, it wasn't really going to affect us much because I was already not riding most of the rides that used Lightning Lane or would have been able to be used with it because of Saoirse. And then Dad also kind of started to drop out some of the times and stayed with me, so I wasn't just alone with Saoirse. And so we didn't need them all, and it ended up working out. But we would have, had it been important to us, gone to guest relations and they would have restored it. But that would have been an inconvenience, but it would have been possible.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that was the only issue, really.
Yeah, I think that Genie Plus, we didn't really get to come up with strategies that would be like the way we would use it so much, because the nature of how we were doing it with having the baby and everything, it was a little bit different. But there is some strategy you're going to want to give some thought to if you're really wanting to maximize your Genie Plus, because you only get to use each attraction once on Genie Plus each day. And the rides that so you have to be really strategic about it. Do you use it right away, early in the morning when the lines are really short? You don't really need to use it. Do you save it for later? But if you wait too long, then the time that you're going to be able to use it for is later, and it just gets kind of complicated. And so we used it. You guys were able to use it quite a few times every day.
Yeah.
But I think that if you're going and not being familiar with the attractions and which ones have Genie Plus and whether or not you like them or what the trends are, it could get it could be hard to get your most out of it. I think we even need to do some research to find out how to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, otherwise it is definitely a benefit, especially in the afternoon when lines are getting really long, because the lines do get a little bit long in the afternoon, especially in the summer, which is when we just went. How did early entry affect us? Do you think that it did? The hotels, Disney hotels had early entry. They could go into either park half hour early before the parks opened. Do you feel like it had an effect on us not having early entry?
I think a little bit, but not too much.
Yeah.
Because it's not a huge amount of people.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be spread out between the two parks.
Yep.
And
they're also
rides.
limited. They're also limited on which areas of the parks are open during the early hour or half hour, and so it wasn't like they had all of the attractions. Like some of the top attractions they didn't have access to even.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really felt like that as long as you get there at rope drop, that first hour especially, wait times were really awesome, and so I don't think it really affected that too much. So
yeah.
Okay, we did take midday breaks most of the days with the baby, and that helped give us a break. That was, I mean, it wasn't even about that you needed to rest as much, although that is definitely true and it helps. But it's just the hottest time and the time when the lines are longest. It's like, what's the point of really, to me, it was kind of like, that's the time to take a break and go to the hotel and just relax.
Yeah.
Because it was not as fun in the parks during those hours in the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah, and it was really nice because we got to be able to be off our feet and then put them in the foot massager. So then the last half of the day we feel great.
Yeah.
And so then it was very, very helpful.
Yeah. And you did some of your homework. And others did some studying and different work and stuff and taking care of the baby, all that stuff.
Some took a nap.
Took naps, yeah. So we did sleep in twice.
Yep.
There were 2 days that we did not even attempt to rope drop. So that was nice for you. I know you always like those days.
Those days felt nice.
I will say the last day we slept in, it was like a very late. We didn't get to the parks till almost noon, which is unheard of for us usually.
Yeah.
But with the baby.
I do prefer getting to parks before that.
Yeah.
Sleeping in.
I think the Wednesday that we kind of slept in a little bit, but we still got to the parks in the morning.
Yeah.
It was better.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. Rope drop. We did rope drop or attempt to rope drop at least the other 3 days, but we weren't always there right at the earliest you could get there. And I have some thoughts because I've always been get there super early, be at the front of the line, get to the first attraction, have no wait, all that. You're giving me a look. What are you thinking before I finish what I'm saying?
I'm just thinking about the times
that
made
wake
me
you up.
do that, and it's kind of painful.
I still believe in rope drop, and I think you should go to rope drop. But what I'm noticing as a person that's getting older and older and more achy and achy, getting there and trying to be at the very front of the pack, but then having to stand there for a half hour, it's starting my feet off standing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm starting the day hurting my feet instead of, walking in at, getting there at rope drop, but not necessarily having to be at the very front of the crowd. And so not having to be there a full half hour earlier, more sometimes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, maybe that's, I don't know. There is something to be said about still rope dropping it as early as you can, but maybe there's a compromise there where you get there just as the park is opening. You still get all those short lines. If you're on a tight schedule and trying to pack in as much as you can, then get there earlier. But if you are just wanting to take advantage of the shorter lines, rope drop it, but don't stress about being there way before rope drop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, not being at the front of the pack, there'd be still a bit of a line when you go to rides, but it's still rope drops, so it's not going to be super long lines.
Yeah.
I didn't remember noticing oh man, it's like first ride of the day, and it feels like a line. It didn't really feel like there
No.
was a line.
Really, that first hour, you don't have very many long lines.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's Peter Pan, but you know, that's another thing I noticed as I was watching before we even went, that, you know, right at rope drop, Peter Pan's line soars really fast to a high number. But then if you wait like 30 minutes, it's still early in the park just opening. But because the wait had been so long, people are not going there, and it drops back down to around, you know, like 30 minutes instead of 45 or more. And
Yeah.
so sometimes it's best not to actually try to rope drop it. I mean, if you're going to be at the very front of the pack, then that's fine. But if you're not, don't do that very first. But anyways, okay, so how is the weather?
Muggy, sticky.
Yeah, it was hot.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't hot like Arizona hot, but it was in the 80s, and you could feel it. And so, for the most part, I mean, it wasn't as bad as it could be, for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I find that August tends to be in the 80s, and I know that they can get hotter, but so far, every time we've gone, it's been in the 80s in August. But we did use some techniques and things to try to stay cool.
Yeah. This time we brought misters.
Yep, misting fans.
Yeah, those are really nice.
Yep.
And then we also brought the I don't know what they're called, but the cooling rags.
Yeah,
thingy.
cooling cloths and coolie rags, yeah. Yeah, we brought those and used them a few times. We put a stroller fan on the stroller for Saoirse. And then we also used UV umbrellas. Sometimes you have to be careful, because if you're in a big crowd, you don't want to poke other people's eyes out. But but it made a huge difference. I'll tell you, just having that shade, it made a huge difference. I saw some people using regular umbrellas, but I think spending a little bit and getting the UV umbrellas is even better. So, and their travel size, you know, they'll compact down. So I think that was a good plan.
Yeah.
We did do some dining packages.
Mm-hmm.
We watched, first we did the dining package to watch World of Color.
Yeah.
And that was just your typical lunch at Wine Country Trattoria, which is usually my preferred place to do a dining package for for World of Color. We always like our meals there, and it's a little bit less expensive than some of the other options. And then we did the Fantasmic dining package at Hungry Bear, which is the least expensive option, and it's good. We like that. You do end up being not in the, like, you still have really good view. I think we had a great view.
Oh yeah, we had an amazing view.
But we're not like perfectly center, but we're just off center. But
Yeah.
it was really good view, good location. It wasn't, even though it was filled, it wasn't crowded. Like, it wasn't packed.
Yeah.
They don't make you stand, so you get to sit.
Which is a really big plus, I feel like.
Yeah. You're sitting on the ground, but you're sitting. So that worked out really well. One of the things we noticed, though, because I've been really curious about the River Belle Terrace viewing, where you can dine and watch at the same time. I've been interested in trying to get tickets for that. But the location is actually not super great. Like, you're sitting down, but then there's a pathway in front of you between you and the show, and people are able to walk along that pathway. And it's just not, it seems like it's not really ideal.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we won't try that. I was wanting to try that dining package, and I'm thinking maybe not so much.
Yeah, we'll have to see, like, what it looks like
Yeah, I don't know.
sometime. Like,
Well,
kinda
Dad
pay
was
attention.
noticing. Dad paid attention, and he
Oh.
pointed it out to me, and he was like, "Yeah, not such a good idea." And so I agree with him. I actually think that what we've been doing has been probably the best.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went on Finding Nemo. It was open.
Yep.
It is open, and not much changed. It was just freshened up, really.
Yeah.
So it's still a submarine, still very tightly compact, still the same number of people packed into the same space. I don't know I know a lot of us keep hoping that something like that something can be improved about it, but I don't know what they can do.
Yeah, it's a submarine. What can you do?
Yeah. And so definitely had that. We finally did it, and you did it with me. What did we do?
The canoes.
We did do the canoes. You didn't want to do it.
No, I didn't.
And your aunt was with us. She
Yeah.
joined us just for one day. Shout out to Debbie. And she convinced you. She pretty much made you. She said, no, you're doing it. Come with us. And you didn't want to, but what happened?
It was really funny.
It was great.
Because, okay, I thought it was going to just be more of a, oh, you're on a canoe. How fun sort of thing. I didn't realize that they're going to have, like, Jungle Cruise type jokes.
Yeah.
And then we were lucky because we had gotten a really good...
We had a great, what do you call him?
Canoe skipper.
Canoe skipper instead of a Jungle Cruise skipper.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was hilarious. I mean, so funny.
Yeah.
It had us laughing the entire time. The other thing was, it was not nonstop rowing. He would have us go, and then he'd have us take a break. And some of that was to coordinate with, like, they do have the other ships on the river, and so he was making sure we weren't in the wrong place or in the way of any of those and all that. But he would give us breaks, and then we'd go again, and then he'd give us breaks. And so it wasn't like you're totally just getting a hardcore workout. I mean, your arms start to feel it a little bit, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But he was hilarious. Now, I will say, Acadia and Patrick, did you go with them the second time?
I was doing something else.
They went again, and they said that the person they had the next time wasn't nearly as funny. So we just got really lucky.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. I mean, I think he should train all the others because he was just great. And I don't know, so it might be hit or miss. Your experience will be different every time, I'm sure, but we enjoyed it, and I would absolutely do it again.
Yep.
Absolutely. So we finally did that. That was so great. All right, some places we ate at that we haven't done before.
I don't remember any.
Okay, first of all, Angry Dogs.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking, like, more, like, sit-down restaurants, so that makes a lot more sense because we did that, like,
We've
two
done
times.
most of the sit-down stuff, but we had never done Angry Dogs, and we did that this time.
Yeah.
I had bites of Dad's Angry Dog and bites of your Slightly Annoyed Dog, and which is obviously just a hot dog, and his was had a little bit of kick, and they were both good.
Yeah. I tried the Poultry Palace.
Yes, I did not try that. How did you feel about the Poultry Palace? Both of these locations are right there on Pixar Pier.
Yeah.
They're just like little shacks.
Like drumstick boxes, like 3 drumsticks. Mm-hmm. And they're pretty good. They have like a kind of season. Wow. I don't know how to describe it.
But you like the flavor.
Yeah, I'm not good with spices, but yeah, I did like the flavor.
Good.
Yeah.
Did it come with anything else?
It came with coleslaw. I didn't have any.
You didn't, because you don't usually like coleslaw, so you gave that to Patrick or somebody else. Yeah. Okay.
They did say to hold the box by the bottom and not the handle because they tend to give out.
Which is funny. If you're giving it to people in a box with a handle, either make it so that it's not going to give out or find a different way to. I know that they're trying to. It's for the look, but it's like, okay, you got to be functional too.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So the other place I did this, you did not, was the Corn Dog Castle. It was when I was with Dad. And we actually had it at breakfast time, and there was a breakfast corn dog, which it's not really a corn dog at that point. It was sausage and egg in the corn, the breaded out with the breaded outside, and then I think, what did it come with? I can't remember if it came with fruit or something. It came with something, and but that was pretty tasty. So yeah, I had never eaten there before. All right, something else we tried that I absolutely loved was a Churro Toffee. And you tried it.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a big toffee person.
Yeah.
It was all right.
And which is probably good enough because you got braces. You're not supposed to really be eating toffee.
Yeah.
I love toffee. And Churro Toffee, I literally bought 3 more pieces to bring home. And they're, I don't know, at like 4x4 square.
Yeah.
So they're not tiny pieces. And so I brought them home because I wanted to keep snacking on it. That was really good. So I tried that for the first time, really enjoyed it. Another thing we tried was the raspberry rose Mickey Macaron. It's like trying to get that name right. Raspberry Rose Mickey Macaron.
I still think that they should switch the names.
We
So
found out it is.
macarons are macaroons and macaroons are macarons.
And yet it is a macaron. What were your thoughts on the Raspberry Rose Mickey Macaron?
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
First of all, these are good size. These are not like your typical macarons.
Like, it's like the size of your hand.
Yeah, it's large. And so we did get that. I loved it. I love fruity stuff, and it was delicious. And so all the hype I had heard about it, I think it lived up to it personally. And I would say that probably that one and possibly the Churro Toffee, those might be my new two favorite treats at Disneyland.
I still think that the Oreo cheesecake is one of the
you know
best
what?
ones.
And I meant to try to get that before we came home and we didn't. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
We go back in October.
Yeah, we'll get it again.
Yeah. Okay, another thing I tried, and this time you didn't have any of it, was the cream cheese pretzel, which
yeah.
I had heard about and really wanted to try. It was good. I think I liked it better than regular pretzel, but pretzels aren't my go-to snack at Disney, and so I would only be getting it if I really, for some reason, wanted to have a pretzel. I would probably just choose that one. But yeah, so it was good. I wouldn't say it's my favorite treat. Let's see. Something new we did this time was pixie dusting.
Oh yeah, that was mostly a you thing.
It was a mostly me thing. What's pixie dusting?
I don't know how I would describe that.
Oh, it's just giving little gifts randomly, without, like, no, there's not, I guess, unexpected. Doing unexpected gifts randomly. And we brought some little gifts just for the cast members, and we weren't giving this to regular people, like just regular guests. We were just giving them to cast members. And when a cast member just really stood out to us, we would give them a little bit of pixie dust. And it just came with a note just thanking them for being part of the magic there in the parks and letting them know we appreciated it. And so we did that. We gave that to that canoe skipper.
Yeah.
And then there was a gal that was one of the cast members that was helping people see during the World of Color that really helped out our family. I was holding down the fort by myself with the baby, and you guys accidentally had left the tickets to get inside in the stroller. And so I had to figure out how to keep our spot and have the baby and get the tickets up to you guys. And the cast member was super sweet and said, I'll just run them up to them. And she went up and got you guys. And then not only that, but like literally walked you back to me. And so that was really cool. So I gave her one.
Yeah.
But that was a fun thing. I've never done it before. And I think I'll keep doing it. Just have a few little things on hand to give to the cast members to thank them. Because they do so much to give to make everything magical for those of us that go. And I think it's fun to do something to surprise them with a little bit of magic.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Okay. Some things that we learned. Okay, first of all, let's talk about churros.
We didn't have any.
We did have some.
We had one regular churro.
And a fluffernutter.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, we had one regular churro and a fluffernutter.
Why was that?
Because we really like fluffernutters.
No. Why didn't we have more?
Because we weren't thinking about...
No, it wasn't that. We kept looking. There weren't very many. There was like hardly any flavored... Well, okay, you were getting...
Give me time.
Okay. I'm giving you time.
Oh, okay.
Now you say it.
No, you gotta give me time. Okay, so there wasn't any special flavors.
Yeah, I feel like we were in between seasons or something.
Yeah, there was one that we didn't try.
They had the 50th anniversary for the Main Street Electrical Parade, and actually I would have liked to have tried it, but I just didn't, we didn't get back to around, it was never a good time to stop and get that one.
I thought there was another one at DCA that we saw.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure.
What was the flavor?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either then.
I think it was like something pineapple or whatever.
Oh, and I said we needed, I totally just now remember that. I've totally forgot. And I even said to Aurora, we need to come back and eat this, but we were on our way to dinner. And so, oh, dang it. And it probably won't be there when we'll have to check and see if it's at that cart. There was a pineapple flavored one. Now,
How much did I
granted,
remember
I
that?
don't know. But to be fair, though, we had the pineapple flavored, the one that was from Terran Treats before, the the
Yeah.
spiral one.
Yeah.
And it was okay, but it wasn't all that. And so if it's the same flavor, like the same recipe, then I don't know if I'll care that much. But I'd be interested in trying it to see if it is. Because if it's not, if it's a better recipe, then that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we really did not have very many churros. But we did have other snacks, so that's made up for it.
Yep.
We did, speaking of snacks, try multiple chocolate chip cookies. This is something that happens when your father's with us.
Yeah.
We had to try all the chocolate chip cookies. And do you have a preference? Did you find, because I've decided the best chocolate chip cookies in
You
Disneyland.
decided.
Yeah, and Dad agrees. Actually, I think Acadia might too. I can't remember.
I don't
What
know,
do you?
whatever that, like, he brought back the chocolate chip one and then
Yes.
the double chocolate chip one. Like, whatever that was from, I really like the normal chocolate chip cookie.
Yes, that's our favorite. And it's from any of the bakeries. But when you go to any of those places that have like the cookies and stuff, they'll have like the big Mickey head ones. And then they'll have just regular large round cookies. Skip the Mickey head ones. They're fine, but they're not the best. Get the round, just the regular round, large chocolate chip cookie or double chocolate chip cookie because that was good too. But that regular large round chocolate chip cookie was delicious. We've also previously had the one from the Jack Jack's Num Nums or whatever they call it. And it's really good and we like that. And I would say that's the runner up.
Yeah.
They taste very similar, but they're just slightly different. But oh my goodness, both of those were great. Both of those were absolutely delicious. So best chocolate chip cookies in Disneyland, in my opinion. We found a new hidden Mickey. Dad found it. He pointed it out to us, and it's probably not even that earth-shattering. I just don't know. We just never noticed it before.
Yeah.
Should we say where it is? We'll say what attraction it's on.
Yeah.
It's.
I don't think anyone's gonna see it.
Well, I don't know. It's on. It's a Small World.
Yeah, it's Small World.
Should we say what room it's in?
I don't even remember what room
It's in the last room.
Okay.
The last room that has all of the different nationalities and all dressed in white colors and stuff. And I don't think we should say where it is, but it's in that room. And we'll just say look up. That's not too much. I guess it is. Okay. All right.
It's fine.
So we never noticed it before, but Dad saw it and pointed it out. And we're like, oh, wow, look at that.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Couple other thoughts, couple other takeaways. The Big Thunder Mountain explosion.
Oh my gosh. Okay, don't even get me started on that.
Well, do get started.
Okay, so at least a couple of years ago, it would regularly have like the steams,
Like mist
fog,
or yeah.
yeah, like fog things for when the dynamite exploded, and it was awesome because it actually looked like it was exploding. And then when we came back from COVID, they didn't do that. It just had lights, and I thought, oh, they must have changed it. It was a bad change, but they changed it. But then this trip, for one single time, like even later in the day, it was different. Like for one singular ride, they had the fog back, and I was really happy. I was just like, yeah! I was like so happy. And then that was the only time.
Yeah, all the other times you went on it, it wasn't there.
Yes, even the same day.
Yeah, so I don't know if they're having problems with it or what the deal is with that.
Yeah,
which is really too bad because it's one of the features or one of the elements of that attraction that puts it ahead of Disney World's version.
Yeah. And it's like, we, went, where am I going? It was the same in November that it didn't have it. It's August and it didn't have it. Whenever we went back after COVID.
It didn't have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was June.
March?
June.
June?
Yeah.
Okay, I was close.
Yeah. It wasn't open yet in March. Anyways, yeah. So yeah, we don't know what's going on with that. that was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, what were things we learned about the multiple experience?
Oh,
When first of all, when do you get a multiple experience attraction?
when you are on a ride or sometimes in line for a ride that goes down.
Yeah, not usually when you're in line, but
Yeah.
when you're on it for sure.
Occasionally, like if there's not many people in line, you'll get it.
Yeah.
If you use a lightning lane, you'll definitely get one.
If you used a lightning lane to get there and it goes down, then you'll get it. If you were on the attraction and it goes down, you'll get it. And what is it?
It's basically a really fancy lightning lane that lets you can use it for a lot of different lightning lane rides. But you can also use it, and this is what we learned, you can also use it in both parks.
Yeah.
Like not just, they do it in both parks. No, you can get one in DCA and also use that same one in Disneyland.
Right. So we had received one for Toy Story Midway Mania in DCA, but it was eligible to be used at some DCA attractions as well as some Disneyland attractions.
Yeah.
And we did use it in Disneyland.
And
Yeah.
not all the rides you can use the multiple experience lightning lanes for have normal lightning lanes.
Yeah.
So like Pirates doesn't have a lightning lane.
Jungle
thing.
Cruise.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise doesn't have one. And yet they were still on the list and we're able to use them.
So you have to really look at the list. Not all lightning lanes will be included on the list,
Yeah.
but some things that don't have lightning lanes will. And so look at the list of what is eligible to be used for and keep that in mind. Now, if it does not have a lightning lane, because if it has a lightning lane, you just go to the lightning lane and you use it.
Yeah.
If it does not have the lightning lane, where do you go?
The exit.
Yeah, that's what we learned. So we were able to use it at Pirates and at Jungle Cruise. And so that was really, really nice. All right, so that was good. Those were good takeaways. But we had a great trip. Let's see. What else? Oh, we've learned one more thing I was going to share. If you're not going to do a dining package for Fantasmic, I found my new favorite spot. We didn't watch from here, but I saw people doing it, and I thought, this is brilliant. Great viewing spot for Fantasmic. Do you know where it is?
On the bridge over Pirates.
Yeah. So if they have it kind of corded off, like roped off in a certain section, and it fills up, so you'll, again, have to go and stand and wait there. But you're going to have to do that anyways if you're trying to watch. But the vantage point is significantly better than the other vantage points if you're just doing the standby watch for Fantasmic, if you didn't do a dining package.
Yeah.
And so I would absolutely try to do that, but keep in mind you're going to want to have to get there early again, line up or whatever and camp out that spot. But it's great. It's a great spot. Now, if you have really short people, they're not going to be able to see over the ledge. So either you're going to have to hold them or they're just not going to see it. So if you have small people, that might not be the best location. But if you have people that are tall enough to see over that, great location. So, yeah. Yep. We may try that in the future sometime if we don't do a dining package. But we really had a great visit, a good trip. We were able to see the Main Street Electrical Parade, or you didn't, but I did. I did with Dad and Saoirse, actually, and that was fun to see again. I have to admit, this is not my favorite parade by any means, but as soon as the music came on, I got emotional because it is such a nostalgic type of attraction, and they brought it back for the 50th anniversary. It's actually already gone because I'm pretty sure this weekend it's retiring again, at least for a time. I know it'll come back in the future just because it keeps doing that, but it's for now. It's taking a break again. We're hitting the holidays now. We're gonna have Halloween starting now, and then of course Christmas, and so but it was cool to see it. We also were able to see Disneyland Forever fireworks. Again, you didn't see all of it. You saw parts of it.
Yeah.
But I watched them twice, actually 3 times, twice from Main Street and once from the Fantasmic viewing spot. And I love it. Those are my favorite fireworks Disney's ever done. And so that was great too. But yeah, but we had a great time, and Really great time with family. I think we'll do a podcast later about going with a baby because there were a lot of things we learned about that. But it was extra magical doing that with our whole family. First time doing it with Patrick and first time doing it with Saoirse. And so, do you have anything else you wanted to add?
Nope.
You had a good time though, huh?
Yeah.
And we're already looking forward to a next one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that was our recap. Some things that we wanted to share. And for now, we'll go ahead and sign off. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk with you next week.
See you.